Hello there folks, welcome back to the Chap's Guide. My name is Ash and I'm your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming. And personal grooming is the theme of the day because today, after decades of being on a journey to shaving nirvana, I believe I've actually arrived at my destination. And I think I have found the perfect shave, and I'm going to share it with you today, and I'm going to have a shave in the outdoors. Now those of you who are not aware, the reason I'm in the outdoors because I often shave in a wonderful natural environment because it just enhances the shaving process. Certainly for me it does anyway. And for the last 2 days, on the either side of this video actually, you'll find other videos where I've been spending the last couple of days at my hut in the woods called Oak Lodge, and as part of the things I intended to do at the hut, I'm having this, what I'm calling my perfect shave. Now I'll tell you the things that I have chosen for this perfect shave as we go along, and I'm gonna just get on with it. I think that's the best thing to do to make sure that it's all in order. So the most important thing with a shave is the razor blade, of course, and this is a bit of a Franken razor blade, or razor rather. It's not any particular brand. The shaft comes from one razor which I had as a kit in a subscription kit. The head of the razor, probably the most important part, is actually a head from a Merkur 34 razor. So I've taken the head off and I've married it with a shaft which works very well for me. It's got a lovely grip, perfect weighting, and that's why I've picked it. Inside that head of the razor, I have one of my favorite razor blades, which is of course the Feathers razor. Renowned for being particularly sharp, but when married with quite a mild reveal on the razor, so the reveal is the amount and the angle of the blade which is presented to us on the razor, this extra sharp Feathers razor with a relatively mild reveal on the Merkur 38 gives a splendid shave. Now, the razor itself is meaningless unless you've got some safety, some protection for your skin. And I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to use. So I'm going to get started. The first thing I'm going to do in the lubrication process, I should tell you I've got a mug of boiling hot water here which I've just boiled up on my stove in my hut. I'm going to put some water on the face. It's rather hot, so I'm just going to get it on there because a bit of water makes a great lubricant. And to assist with the shave, I'm going to be using a pre-shave, and this is Prorazo's pre-shave. Now, I started using this over about a year ago, and this is their sort of eucalyptus and menthol pre-shave. Comes in the green lid. This only costs a few pounds, you know, it's about £10 for a jug, for a big container like that. And it's a simple stuff, nothing special going on in there, as you can see. Looks like a white material, and it is just a simple rub on. So it's a pre-shave rub. You don't have to put piles and piles on, but as soon as you place it on the skin, you get this remarkable menthol, sort of eucalyptus, minty, I would go as far as to say. You excuse me if I look this way, but my outdoor shaving station, from which I'm shaving today, the mirror is over here, so I'm not being impolite. I'm merely staring over here. So all we do with that pre-shave, put a bit of water onto the skin, and the pre-shave, and you don't need a lot, as you can see, just a little bit. Get it on there, and it provides a lovely layer underneath. Just wipe that off the hand, and it's not sort of you know, sticky or unpleasant at all. It works a treat. That's the first time I'm going to use it. Now the important area now for this perfect shave that I've discovered after all these years is I'm not using a shaving cream. No brush required at all. I am using the type of shaving cream that we tend to refer to as a super slick. So basically a very viscous, slick layer which goes on the face directly, and it works an absolute treat. And I'm using Rusel. And as you can see on that container, there's the guillotine, which gives you an idea of what it's used for. It's a Dutch product from the Netherlands. I love this stuff. I came across it by chance. I thought I'd give it a try, and it's a glycerin-based product. In fact, I looked it up, and Roezel actually, in Google's translator into Dutch, actually means lard. So not one for the vegans, but this is so good. This large 283 gram container only costs, I think it was about £13. And all you need to do, really, really simple, dab your fingers in. Not a lot is needed at all. And you just rub that on the skin. Yeah, just rub it on the skin. And massage it in. And it massages in wonderfully. A little bit of water. If you find it's a little bit too dry, you add a bit of water and it all mixes up and gives you, that's all. It's as simple as that. Now this is great if you're traveling, because you don't need to have loads and loads of, oh, my phone's tinging. I'll just put that on silent. It's probably the Prime Minister, somebody like that. Put that down. And you just rub it in, massage it in. As I say, when you're traveling, you don't need to carry a brush. You only need to carry a container of Roezel. You don't need a big pot like this. They sell it in much smaller containers as well. It is very modestly priced. It lasts forever. And that's it. It's applied. All you need to do, just wipe your hand off. Do have a little towel here. And you're ready to shave. It is as simple as that. And you're done. So got the pre-shave on. Bit of water first. Put the pre-shave on. Put the Roezel on. There's my razor with my feathers blade, just dipping it in the boiling water to get it warmed up, because steel performs, I think for me, much better when it's warm. And now I'm going to shave. Now today I'm going to shave 2 passes. By the way, this is 2 days of stubble, right? So I haven't shaved for 2 days. And I'm just shaving with the grain the first time. All right, simple as that. And it's really easy. Lovely razor. That feathers blade is very sharp, but as I say, the head of the razor, the reveal, is mild, so there's no risk of, you know, opening a wound in your face, opening an artery or something like that. Simply shaving away, just dipping, just so you know, I'm dipping my razor in to get the bits and pieces of bristle and cream off as we go along. And there we go. It is as simple as that. First pass in the upper half. I'm shaving up my lower chin. And again, the razor's doing all the work. I'm not putting hardly any pressure on it at all. The razor and the edge of the blade is cutting the bristles. Not any particular pressure from me. There we go. Now when I do this in the mornings, it's almost sort of a time of meditation for me before I begin my day. Such a lovely experience. And of course you start the day feeling super clean, super fresh. It's worth its weight in gold, the 10 minutes or so that it takes me to do a shave like this in the morning. There we go, just touching up under the chin. Get that area looking good. I'm not a fussy shaver, I just get it done. And you know, maybe on the weekends I spend a bit more time. But the truth is, most of us, we're just shaving to get the job done, aren't we? So just wipe any crap off the razor there. There we go. That was my first pass. I have got rid of the beard. My skin is beautifully smooth right now. Some would argue I need not do any more. However, this is my perfect shave. I've been on a long journey to find what makes my face feel wonderful and perfect. And basically, I find 2 passes is the way to go. So all I need, a bit more water on the face, because as I say, the lubrication of a bit of water goes a long way. And now I'm just gonna really be fancy today and do a second pass with that wonderful pre-shave, because I really like the menthol. There's a slight zing sensation as well, and this just makes it feel so wonderful on the face. A little bit of water on the hand, and all I'm doing, tapping the fingers in. You see the tiniest amount on there, that's all you need. The skin is really soft now already because I shaved once, and all I'm doing with that tiny bit, you can see, it's covering the whole face. So it's really cost effective. Now it's a little bit dry there, so a little tap of water just to add onto the hand, just to get it all nice and super slick with the Roozle. I tell you, the Roozle has been a real awakening for me, because for decades, I go as far as to say, I've been shaving with Taylors of Old Bond Street, D.R. Harris, George Trumper, Joe Trumper, many of the other, Truffett and Hill. I've tried them all on my journey to find the best shaving cream. None of them are as good as this Roozle, and they're all more expensive and don't last as long. So, razor again, back in the water to warm it up. I've cleaned off the razor. Now I'm going to shave across the grain. I'm not going to shave against the grain, because for me personally, I just find that too aggressive for my skin. And as I shave every day, I'm always trying to be as calm and as kind on my skin as I possibly can. Now, if I was to shave against the grain, I would have a baby bum smooth shave, yeah? But the truth is, tomorrow morning my face would have little bumps on it, because I'd shaved so smooth or so close to my skin it would have aggravated it. And I don't need to shave that close. I mean, it'll be beautifully smooth at the end of this shave. Were I to add extra stress to my skin by shaving against the grain, it's not going to be worth the aggravation. There we go, upper half done. I'm going to shave in the same way as I shaved the first time, up the face. So I'm not changing the way that I shave below the jawline, simply because I find this gives me the best shave. There we go, nice and easy, getting it done. It's wonderful to feel the wind and the breeze rather on this spring morning. It's about 10 AM at the moment, so it's not an actually early shave. I had lots to do in the hut, getting breakfast ready, testing that ration pack I've been doing. If you haven't been watching some of the other videos in this short series of about 3 or 4 videos I've been doing, by all means watch the others. I've been testing a French Army ration pack, and it's going well so far. But this shave is just part of the 2 days I'm spending up here in the woods, getting back to nature, de-stressing and calming down. It's wonderful. And of course, some might argue, do you need to have a shave? Is that part of a calming experience, having a shave? Well, for me it is. So I finish my shave, I just feel in the jaw, seeing if there's any bits I've missed, and touching up if I have. I've got one tiny nick, but nothing to speak of. I've shaved with this razor hundreds of times, so no chances of any unexpected surprises there. So that was the Roozle. Highly recommend this fella. Alright, it is so inexpensive, it's perfect for travelling. It delivers such a wonderful shave, particularly when used in conjunction with a pre-shave like Prorazo's menthol and eucalyptus. Of course, you don't have to use this with the Roozle. The Roozle has a sort of an astringent element to it. You find a slight tingling if you use that without a pre-shave, but with the pre-shave, I mean, I'm going for my perfect ever shave here. So there we go. The face is now fully shaved, and I'm just going to put a little bit of water on my face. Hang on, let's find some water. Ooh, too hot. Yeah, there we go. Just to let's get rid of that. Just to make sure it's all nice and clear, ready for the final part. Sit. Right, rinse that off. There we go. Now I can tell you the face feels great. No nicks as such. If I did have any nicks, near to hand I always have a styptic pencil. Styptic pencil made of a material which is a coagulant, so it stops any weepers and nicks in the skin instantly. And you can just rub off the little residue which is left behind within a few minutes. Always keep one to hand if you're shaving, particularly if you're going for a perfect shave. Okay, so we've shaved. The skin is great. There are no bristles left whatsoever. But we've just drawn a razor blade, and a particularly sharp razor blade in the terms of the feathers over the skin. We've taken off that top layer of cells. We need to look after this skin now to protect it. And in order to do that, after every shave, I always use witch hazel. Today I'm using a Thayer's witch hazel. The bottle before this, I use one called Humphreys. It's relatively inexpensive. This bottle costs about £12. It's going to last over a year for me because you only need a touch of it. Witch hazel is an astringent. It's a natural product derived from the witch hazel tree, and a splash in the hand is all that's needed, and we rub it onto the face, just over where we shave. Now, being an astringent, it's going to do wonders for our skin. It's neutral, doesn't smell of anything at all, it's not offensive. We just rub that in, and it prevents any infection, any bacteria entering the skin. It's like a disinfectant for the face after we've had a shave. Already absorbed into the skin's protected, and the astringent effect is felt immediately. Great stuff. Thayer's, highly recommend it. There's also another brand called Humphreys, which I use too. Now, that's great, seal the skin, the astringent effect. One more thing I want to do is to moisturize the skin. And I use various different moisturizers. You needn't spend a fortune on this. Somebody wrote to me the other day and said, you know, should I be using a different moisturizer on my jaw, to my face? I tell you what, if you go into one of these fancy, you know, men's or women's shops on the high street where they sell cosmetic products, they'll tell you any number of things. I can tell you from 40 years of experience, there or thereabouts, of shaving, that there's no need to get fancy. You don't have to spend a pile of money. At the moment, I'm using an aftershave balm, which I purchased from a British company called Executive Shaving. I'm not in any way endorsed by them, but I find them to be superb. They retail lots of different types of shaving products, but they produce some of their own. And their shaving balm, and this particular one, is called Citrus Kiss. The fragrance is exquisite. It smells of lime, and you only need, I'll show you, yeah, just one little squirt in the palm of your hand. Lasts for ages, under £20. And again, squirt in the palm of the hand, rub it in, and then we know, oh, the smell. We massage that into the face where we've just shaved. We're hydrating the skin. We're putting back what we've just taken away. You can imagine by drawing a razor blade over the face, you know, it's stressful on the skin. And this absorbs so quickly. It's non-greasy, it doesn't leave a greasy residue on the face. It's gone within minutes. And it just feels so good. You know, it tightens the skin, and everything is nice and smooth, and it just feels wonderful. Now, a lot of people will say, that's so good. The smell, it's, you know, I discovered this about 18 months ago, and I use it every day. Wonderful. So, a lot of people say to me, what about aftershave? You know, I often talk about fragrance on the channel. I review them quite regularly when I find one which I think is worthy of sharing with you. And that's the case today. I do apply a fragrance, but I don't apply any sort of aftershave to the skin now. After I've applied my shaving moisturizer or shaving balm, that's me done for the skin of the face. Nothing else goes on there. What I am going to do is apply a fragrance, because a signature fragrance is an important part of every man's grooming regime. All right, we go through life and we create an impression on the people we meet. I like to think that I create an impression on every level when I meet somebody. So they will look at the way I'm dressed and they will draw an inference. I'm a tidy guy. I like to dress smartly. My clothing is pressed, it's well ironed. You know, my tie knot is done up. Everything is tucked away. You know, my shoes are shiny, and so on. When I speak to people, I try to speak with good, solid, you know, pronunciation, with quality diction, and I make the best of the instrument of communication which I have, which is my voice. You know, I try to sort of I try to accumulate a useful vocabulary, so I use good descriptive words so that when people speak to me, you know, I certainly give the impression that I'm fairly well educated, I'm interested, and I'm somebody worth talking to. And on another level, as well as the physical to look at, the verbal in communication, there is the olfactory sense, which is worth making a good impression too. And for me, today, I am using an aftershave which I only bought a couple of weeks ago, and that is by London's, or the UK's oldest perfume. It is Floris, who have their UK base at number 89 Jermyn Street. And I just did a video a couple of weeks ago about a walking tour of Jermyn Street, and in that video I purchased this bottle of Floris Special number 127. Now this is a summer fragrance, summer spring fragrance. It is light, it is citrus and bergamot in its nature, and it is classic, timeless elegance. Famously, this was the favourite, or believed to be the favourite, fragrance of Sir Winston Churchill, the greatest Briton who has ever lived, if you listen to the surveys which have been taken over the years. Britain's wartime Prime Minister anyway. And this fragrance, I would agree, I'm going to do a fuller review of it on the channel, but it is ideal for the summer because it is soft and it is light, it is citrus based, so it's quite delicate, it is subtle, it's very office appropriate. This was came into being in the 1890, I think it was formulated by Floris, and it's as elegant and timeless today as it was all those years ago, so perfect. So, how do you apply your fragrance? Well, what I'm not going to do, and this is an eau de toilette, so I'm not going to spray it on the face, I'm not going to spray it on my hands and rub it into the face. All I'm going to do is apply it to the pulse points around my upper body where the blood, the vessels, you know, the arteries and the veins are near the surface, because, you know, it is thought, true or not, I wouldn't like to say scientifically, that those points are a little warmer because the blood is near to the surface and it activates the molecules in the fragrance, keeps it going for longer. With a citrus-based fragrance, they tend to be quite light. They don't tend to hang around long, which is why they work quite well in the summer. They're not fuggy or overbearing in nature. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fragrance and I'm going to spray it at the neck. Now this is a weak fragrance, so it's going on, as you can see, 2 sprays on either side. If it was a powerful fragrance, I would regulate it to 1 on either side. Then, that's where the blood vessels flow near my throat, obviously my neck. I'm then going to apply it to the nape of my neck, because the blood vessels which serve my brain go up that part of my body. I'm not going to put it on my wrists or anything like that. That's enough for me. 2 sprays in this particular case, because it's not a strong fragrance, either side on the arteries and the veins, 1 in the nape of my neck because the blood goes up there too. The job is done. That is me. With this fragrance, it's not going to last that long, a couple of hours. If I was intent on, or if I had to say an afternoon meeting where I really wanted to create a good impression by using a fragrance, I may reapply in the afternoon. I might take a bottle of that to the office, keep it in my locker at work. But in this instance, you know, this is just my fragrance for the day because it's a light, springy day, and I am happy with that. So, gents, there we go. That was my perfect shave. From the items that I use, in the way in which I use them in my outdoor shaving station. I hope it has been of some use to you. Some of these products might be things you'd like to try. I will place a link to all of these in the show notes below, probably via Amazon, where I buy most of my products from. So you might find it easier to track them down. But by no means should you buy them from there. Shop around, see where is the cheapest for you. Often eBay can be a good friend when it comes to buying products like this. So thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed this video, look at the videos on either side of it, because you'll find me out in the woods doing various things, cooking in the outdoors, trying a ration pack, sleeping here for a few days, all about de-stressing, relaxing and calming experiences, which may be useful to you. Perhaps you can vicariously take some relaxation from my experience here in this lovely English woodland. So, if you have enjoyed the video, you could do me a favour by giving it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, you know the drill, click the red button, subscribe and come on the journey with us. If you'd like to practically support the channel, it would be wonderful. And you can do that by buying me a coffee. And you can do that by going in the show notes below, where you will find a link to the Buy Me a Coffee page of the Chap's Guide. And you can buy me a coffee, and it will help keep up the work that we do here. But at the very least, I'd like you to enjoy this experience we've had today. Think how it may benefit you in your shaving regime. Make your shaving experience go from being a chore to an enjoyable part of your everyday life. And until the next time, I'm going to say, take care of yourselves.